All
Oh,
right.
hello, Anil.
Yep.
I'm super excited to have you on the Mado podcast today. Um,
Ditto, ditto.
Welcome.
Thanks. Thank you for having me. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just I think I keep um I feel I keep finding amazing people in Ethiopia, and I know there are amazing people in Ethiopia, but then every time I'm just like blown
Yeah.
away. It's like one after the other. I'm like, oh wow, okay, this person is amazing, and then the next person, and so it's been like a fabulous journey for me. Um,
Hey.
getting to know a lot of Ethiopian talent and getting to have conversations with them, I guess. So Anil, tell me a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself.
It's like the dreaded question, but also like the question everybody like has to answer at some point in life. But let's go. Yeah, my name is Anil. Born and raised in Ethiopia for the past, I'm gonna reveal my age, 26 years. So long time for me, I guess. But gray hairs and everything. Profession, I'm a software engineer. Went to school went to school at Hilco for like 4 years. Oh, I graduated 4 years ago, and I've been in the engineering space, well, remotely for 4 years since. Is it cool?
Nice. I mean that's awesome. So the first question I'm gonna ask is, tell me
Mhm.
about your English. Okay, so I'm hearing you, and I'm wondering who is in Canada right now. Is it you or me? Because it sounds like it's you, definitely not me. So tell me
Uh,
about your English.
yeah, it's probably like a question I get asked a lot. To be fair, it's just like, where did your accent get so good? It's actually it's my first language. It's what I speak at home. I grew up,
Oh,
luckily, in like in an English speaking school, an international school. It's called Sanford. Um, we did the IGCSEs and IB program, so I grew up speaking English first, and pretty much my whole family is the same. So it's not just like a school influence; it's a home influence. It's a family thing. A lot of the people I'm with have the same accents as me. We all interact the same way, so you might think it's weird, but to me, this is very normal. It might be a hidden gem for you, but to me, we're just it's just us. This is how things are. Everybody talks the same, which is kind of cool.
yeah. So you came through Sanford. Okay.
Mhm.
I remember like when I came up, um in for high school, I went to St. Joe, and then I did my
Yeah,
undergrad Greek school. So
yeah.
like my
That is
when I was middle school, that was
genius.
I went to Greek school. So I do have a little bit of because we used to play soccer together, like
Yeah,
that we had the
yeah.
same league.
Yeah,
um
we were
yeah,
competitive.
so you guys were I don't know I don't know how you are now, but back then the team was pretty decent. I wouldn't say it was as good as like Lise. Lise was like one of the best ones.
Lise
You
were
you
good.
don't
Lise
agree?
were up there. No, we have great rivalry with Lise. To be fair, to this day, it's known. It's known, but we're happy with them. They are a good team. Well,
Yeah,
they
and
were.
then
I don't keep up with
ICS.
them. ICS
Yeah,
was
and
their
I see.
basketball more than football. To be fair. To be fair.
I guess, yeah. So I mean, it's very interesting. So you went to Sanford. Um, a really good international school by any standard, actually. So
Yeah,
that's
thank you.
awesome. So that's your English. Makes a lot of sense
Yeah.
now. So why software engineering? Like, how did you end up, going in that direction?
It's probably a very boring story. It's family influenced for sure. Well, when I say family, more of my eldest sibling, because very tech person. But like we grew up in tech. We were always kind of like flabbergasted by it. But he is when I say tech, he's more tech. He's like into the back end things, more optimization based. Even though I love tech, I love the visual part bit of it. So I'm always big on like the front end, the mobile development things where I can show you something to get you engaged and interact with. That's what I love doing. So it started off being like an architect because I would always love drawing, and became like structural things. to then being like, oh, I can do this on my computer, becoming more graphical, and then I can actually like just draw myself out, and from there be like, oh, I can code it, and then actually see the interaction with it, and then I felt, and then there was no question. So dove into tech from there.
Amazing. And what was your experience like at Hilco when you were taking software engineering?
Oh, it's a bit of a shock, to be fair, because it's such like a like it's such a change, right? It's you're going to college here, but it's like you're focused solely on computer science because that's what they teach you, right? There's no you don't major in anything else, you don't minor in anything else. You're focusing on that one thing and that one thing alone, which is not how I grew up in. You grew up with like the world is your oyster. You can pick left and right and go from there. But once you have that sole focus, it was a switch for me to begin with. But you dive in and you get to learn everything. The people that kind of come out of Hilco, and it's an arduous like program. Not everybody can make it through. Not everybody will, but once you do, you're better for it because you know the ins and outs, and you are taught. You are taught, and I think that's how I can explain it to you. You will be taught well.
Yeah, and of course, Hilco has a very strong brand in Ethiopia,
They do.
especially in the tech
They
space, right?
do.
Computer
They
science,
do.
software engineering, very, very
They
strong
do.
brand.
They
Um,
do. They do. They do. The people that come out have great knowledge, great tech space, but also like that entrepreneur mindset. Biggest example I think would probably be Ride, which is our version of Uber. I'm sure you know, but like Hilco graduate then and there. So you have to love the things that come out of it. It's definitely like eye opening. Cool.
yeah. Oh, perfect. And so I'm like looking at your work experience. I mean, you've done a bunch of things in the last maybe 4 to 5 years. Did
Yeah.
you start working pre-graduation? Because I've noticed that tends to be a thing with a lot of people that I've met. Or did
Yeah.
you start working post-graduation?
Yeah. Pre-graduate. I was in my last year as I was working. So it was crazy times. You go to school in like 8 a.m. to like 12 a.m. From there, you're in the office from like 12 to 8. And then from 8 to 12, you're working on like your thesis and your final project. So it's just like no sleep, but it's like the life of a senior. It's just work, work, and more work.
Yep, yep. And I guess that one of the things that maybe people who are watching this might not know is I feel like Ethiopia is definitely going through a period of hyperinflation. When I looked at
Yeah.
the numbers, it was like 35% for 2022, which is absolute
It's
insanity,
crazy
like just
numbers.
crazy,
It's
crazy.
crazy
And
numbers.
yeah, yeah, and because of that, I've seen a lot of people that are actually grinding quite hard. Like they're working
Hmm.
multiple jobs because that's the only way you can make ends meet. Um,
Yeah,
so
it's
yeah,
true.
that's
It's
something
true.
to definitely. So let's get into your some of your roles. So, um,
Mhm.
okay, tell me about maybe you walk me through your history. Like, so you started as a web dev in seven
Yeah,
communications.
Seventeen
Like,
Nations.
walk me through your history. What does that look like?
That's probably my first gig, right? That was probably still in college, where you want that exposure, you want that. How is it in the working world kind of thing? So, Seven Communications is the communications platform, or a marketing agency, we'll call it, where they had seven different aspects about them: the marketing, the content, the design, and the web development. And the web is something that I like kind of wanted to get my hands on and just learn. It might have not lasted the greatest, maybe just like a summer or two, but it was a way to kind of just like enter the industry somewhere just to see what it looks like in like the working space, to be fair, which is cool. But I think like the real meat of it, or the real chunk of it, like diving into the working space, would probably be like the next thing, which is MMCY Tech, probably, if you see it there. Yeah, started there, right? There was the gig right while in my senior year in college. I was there for, I think, 3 years probably. Like my first role, and that's kind of where I was exposed to the most, I would say. Because just working on like different projects, you would build things in house, you would build things for clients, for like projects, production stages, and everything. and you build like things in like different industries. So you're one day I was maybe a front end engineer, a back end person, or maybe in mobile development, or just doing QA work, or days where I was in like product management or project management, and you're just putting on different hats, talking to clients, designing what they want, that back and forth. So I think there is where I got the most experience, in like the most different aspects of like places, right? So I'm exposed to like a lot, which is a great. You get to know what it is you like, what it is you don't, but you also get to see what you're capable of. Which is I feel one of the greatest things that you can possibly go through as a fresh graduate, which is cool. And from there, oh, I'm sorry if you had a question.
Oh, go ahead. I'm loving it. Continue.
Yeah, and then from there, uh, the idea was always, build yourself up, build a portfolio, build yourself to be like, I have worked on X, Y, and Z things, and showcase yourself to the world. See how you can promote yourself, and that's something they did for me, but it's also something I would do for myself. And from there, I was able to land another gig for a German company called Data, which is in the HR tech space, I would say, which is great. It exposes you not just working world, but like working remote, working for people who have been in this industry for 10 plus years. So that experience level, out of this world, out of the world, because you're learning from people who have gone through and will probably have just gone through more than you can possibly imagine, which is great learning. And I feel like if you're not taking something from it, you should always be taking a learning experience. I'll leave it at that. I think that's the like block zero. Always be learning, and if not, make a shit ton of money. I hope.
One or the other, a mantra to live by for sure. Yeah, get experience
No,
or get money, I guess.
no,
Okay,
go
I
for it.
love it. Okay, so like you mentioned that you're drawn to the front end aspect of things.
Mhm,
Um, and like what kind of projects? And I think you mentioned you worked at MMCY Tech.
mhm.
And don't quote me on this. From my understanding, they started as kind of like a software, like an outsourcing kind of remote software
Yeah,
dev company, and morphed into like a BPO. And
mhm.
they're a decent player in the Ethiopian space. So
Yeah.
like
I would
with
say.
them, and with them, so you were working there. What kind of stuff were you doing? Like, were you coding, hard coding, like
Mhm.
front end stuff, or like what kind of activities were you involved in?
Okay. I don't know if I can give away too many trade secrets. No, it's jokes, jokes, jokes.
Yeah, you.
Jokes. As a company, they do have a whole bunch of different sectors, different things that they would focus on. The department I was part of was custom software development. So rather than like a niche market, we would, like you say, develop young talent, but you would do that by building in-house projects or placing you with some clients who had an idea that they wanted built. So like a SaaS company, right? You have a team that will build it for you. And within that team, there are different roles, but it's a small team, right? So that team kind of has to be flexible, has to be able to take on any new roles that come out their way, just like whatever the project needs, you need to be able to like handle it within that capacity. And that's where I grew up in, right? So I'm like definitely like a hard coder. I'm like on my laptop 24/7 in the like, parts of the day. But then when there's times where, okay, I need to be on a client facing call, when I need to describe it to our stakeholders, what is it we're doing, how far we've gotten to, are we ready to pitch to clients at this point? That's also like a part of this gig too. And you would do that on multiple projects, right? So 6 months down the line, we're doing something in event management. Another part down the line, we're doing something for a trade where we're building a platform where you can manage consumers and producers, consumers being worldwide, producers being because it is. Another day, maybe we're doing like an entertainment platform. So like I said, those are the projects you kind of get like exposed to the most, but we are a custom software development team. So come with ideas or maybe have our own. We'll build it within, build ourselves, build our portfolios. And then from there, showcase each tool.
Yeah, that's amazing. And in terms of like tech stack, talk
Yeah.
tech stack to me. Like what's your
Mhm.
go-to, what you like, what don't you like? Like
Oh, sorry, I keep hitting myself on my desk. Point is, well, front end, where again, the idea was always to like build yourself up in as many ways as possible. So that we always tried to like diversify within projects, but also what the team was more comfortable with. So in the front end, it was usually React and Vue. That's where a lot of the team had experience. That's where I have the most experience in. But it's also like the places that we had the ability to grow the most. A lot of the backend stuff was Node.js. We're very big on JavaScript, just so you know. But we did have projects where we worked with Python and Django. Um, like the stuff I did within MMCY is definitely JavaScript based, I would say, which is really, really cool. You can still do a whole bunch with it. And off the top of my
Flutter?
head, what else did we use? Flutter
Flutter.
is mobile development. Yes, sorry, thank you for reminding me. Flutter. Whenever we had like platforms where we wanted to do mobile development, it would be Flutter. But then we did have projects where we used React Native as well, just because it works well with React. You can dive in quickly and just have the team like take over without having to learn like a whole new language, a whole new framework. It was very, very simple. So I do have experience with Flutter and React Native too.
Nice.
Hmm.
So I guess the next question might be like, we're kind of like switching lanes. We're going in a different direction. Have you traveled?
Outside the country
Uh,
for work?
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Anything, work, leisure, whatever you want to
yeah,
call it. Yeah.
yeah, yes, yes.
Where have you
For
been?
work,
Tell me some places.
the places I've been very little. I've been to Kenya and the States, of course, but the list of places I need to go to or want to go to, yeah, it's massive. It's massive, massive, massive. Um,
Tell me,
but
I'm
well,
curious. Like, okay, where do you want to go?
oh,
Like, yeah,
off
like
the top of my
we're
list, off
asking
the
the
top,
questions. Okay.
I'll go
Uh-huh.
for it. Off the top would always be Brazil first, Portugal, and then Japan. Just top three. And then from there, we'll probably go
Okay.
visit Madrid, Belgium, Netherlands for sure, because I have to go see some old coworkers that I really do miss. And then Singapore, and then we'll probably travel Africa, we'll go to Morocco. Yeah, Morocco, and then damn,
I love it.
I'll leave
That's
it
a
there.
chunky list.
It's
That's a
it's
good list.
it's weird.
Why
It's weird,
Brazil
but
first though? Why Brazil first?
it's probably stupid, but it's going to be. Have you ever seen the movie City of God?
It's a soccer movie, isn't it?
Ooh,
Or no?
no. Put it on your
Okay,
list at
you
some
tell
point.
me.
Just take a look of it. No,
Okay,
for you. You have to
okay,
watch it.
okay. So,
But
City,
I
tell
grew up
me
on this
how it
movie.
connects.
Just because I grew up on this
Oh,
movie,
okay.
and it's
Is it filmed in Brazil? Is it like is the background?
it's filmed in Brazil. It's the whole background is nothing tech related. It's just a great film that I grew up watching. It's the first movie I think that won an Oscar. That's like a Brazilian film, and just the story behind it made me fall in love with Brazil. And then there's a whole football
Okay.
aspect, but then the people and Portuguese. And from there, it's always been like top list place I would love to go see. Brazil first, and Brazil will always be at the top of the list. Nothing tech related, even though they do have like a up and coming, really great tech community. Brazil first.
Okay. Awesome. I mean, I love it. Since you're on that side of the world, I would add seashells to the list.
Yeah,
Like
everybody says she sells.
it,
Everybody says she sells to the point where I
it's
question it. I question it.
yeah, yeah. You feel like everybody's getting affiliate links to promote seashells that we're
It's
getting
like
paid. It
I don't
is
know.
mind blowing. Like you gotta go at the right season. Make sure you don't go on monsoon season or something crazy. But it's yeah, it's such a good place to be. And if you're in the,
Mhm.
you're like so close, like for
I
us,
know.
it's so far. So it's something added to your list. Like it might be at the
You know
bottom,
what?
but eventually go there.
You know, why not?
Um,
Seychelles. Let's go.
yeah.
I literally have a list ready and I'm writing it down. So just so you know.
Yeah, it's like on the list. You just got your map on the wall, and then you're like, oh, yep, yep.
It's
Yeah, I
coming.
mean,
It's coming. It's
yes,
coming.
yes. That's awesome.
Hmm.
So like, I can tell you're a people's person. Um,
Uh,
like if you, yeah, that,
yeah,
please speak, speak. What was that?
I have my moments. I'm usually more shy than I am outgoing, but if I feel comfortable, then I feel like it'll be a comfortable space regardless. But I am genuinely more shy than not, so I feel like it might be
Oh,
a good thing.
oh wow. Okay, okay. You,
Yeah, a
because I
little
guess
bit.
maybe you feel comfortable with us chatting away and stuff. Because
I think
I
so.
thought you were a social butterfly. I was like, oh, this guy is very social, and
Oh Lord,
yes.
no, no.
Yeah, typical like software dev traits, right? Like, oh, who do you like? Zeros and ones or humans? And everybody's like, zeros and ones, please, thank you very much. So,
Well, I only
I
have to
mean,
deal
it's
with
awesome.
humans. Yeah,
Yes, yes, so simple, so simple yet so complicated and fun. So amazing.
yeah.
This is really exciting. So let me give you the space that sometimes I do this where you can ask me any questions you want as well, and it doesn't have to like have any category. It could be anything.
I'm gonna fire right back to you. If you could pick like the top three places you would go to, where would you go?
Oh, that's a good question. Man,
Somewhere
I
with
would
sun.
love to go
Somewhere
to.
with sun.
That's one, but to be honest, there was a season in my life where I was like, uh, almost neck deep in K drama. Like I've watched
No
so much.
way. No
Yeah,
way.
I've watched so much Korean content. Like it
Okay,
was me and
good.
my
It's
wife.
good.
She got me into it, and then we used to sit together, like we'd watch like K
Yeah.
dramas together. So I've always wanted to visit Korea for sure. And then I got into C dramas. So if you,
Oh,
I don't know
wow.
if you're ever like into watching stuff with subtitles, but if
Yeah.
you are, like the ancient kind of historical political stuff that you find in Chinese like dramas,
Hmm?
there's no parallels. Like
No way.
no compare. It's just top tier. It's
Hold
amazing
on.
what they do is just so impressive. So I had a subscription to it was a platform called Viki. So
Hmm.
I, I the amount of time I poured into K dramas and C dramas, I hope nobody's counting because it's ungodly. It's a lot. Uh, so I
There we go.
definitely want to visit Korea. I definitely want to visit China, because you also get exposed to, because it doesn't get in, they don't get a lot of media coverage. But then some of the shows I'm watching them, and then the ones that are a bit modern, like they have a ridiculously beautiful
Yeah.
cities, and there's
Yeah.
so much to see, and I feel like China would be an amazing place to visit. um where else? I haven't been to the States. I'm
You have
actually
to.
traveling. I'm
No
actually
way.
traveling next week. Yeah, it's like my first time in the States. I've been in Canada for 8 years, so a lot of places in the States, of course.
It's
There's
like
so
right
much to
there.
see.
It's right.
It is. It is. You know what though? You need a couple of
No.
years to settle as an immigrant. Like when you come here,
Yeah,
you're still kind
true.
of figuring
No, I
out
don't.
work and life and a bunch of different things. And I have a family, so um, yeah,
Fair.
like you can't just get up and leave. Let's say your wife with a toddler when there's no family around. So it's a
Yeah.
very different like conversation. But
Okay.
I could definitely I feel like I'm gonna travel a lot more in the future, especially for work. So yeah, those are
Yeah, that's top three.
top three. Yeah.
Top three it is.
Yes. So man, this is so nice, like getting together and having a chat.
Yeah, yeah, very much so. Very much so.
Yeah. So I guess we can definitely conclude here. Unless you have any other questions that you'd like to ask, we can finish up.
You know what? Off the top of my head, it's probably just, how are you? Are you doing well? You okay?
Good. that's that's such a that's a hilarious question. It's like, how are you doing? What's up? And
Really one.
I'm good. I'm good. I think I've been having some really good days. I mean, because I've been thinking about this a lot. Like I've gone through life where there are many moments where I felt like, okay, I believe there's a purpose for there's a reason that I exist in this world, and I feel like um this is not it. You know, that I've been in different moments
Yeah,
where whether in school or work where I'm like, man, this is not it. But then now I'm in a season where I feel like, oh, this is it. This is
yeah.
what I'm supposed to be doing. This is
My
um
calling. I found my
yeah,
calling.
I found my calling,
I'm
and
telling you.
I'm 34, so sometimes it takes a while.
You
Uh,
don't look it. You don't look it. As I said it, you don't look
that's
it.
yeah, every time. So I've had the reactions like where I remember I was talking to somebody and he's 24 and I said I'm 34 and he just like goes wide-eyed yeah, he's just like he just goes like this and I was reminded I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen the clip with Kevin Hart and I forget what his name was, but basically the other person was saying,
Oh,
"Hey, I'm
Don
50.
Cheadle.
I'm 50 years old." Yeah, Don Gino, and then like Kevin just violates him, right? He just goes, "Damn!" And you can see the pain in Don's eyes, like it was so painful.
Oh,
Oh my
it's like,
god, that
oh,
was so that was like my moment. So
it's
he
not.
just yeah, his reaction when I said I was 34, like it was hilarious. So there you go.
I
That's
like that.
my yeah, that's my I look way younger than I actually am.
Yeah,
I don't know if
I agree.
it's
I
probably a
agree.
blessing, I'm assuming, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm doing really
yeah,
good. I'm super excited about what we're doing at Mado. I love being able to find
yeah.
exceptional people and help them find remote work. So yeah, doing really good. Um, yeah, thanks for
Glad.
asking. And
Would love to
so we're
hear it.
gonna conclude here.
Yep.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much for joining our Mado podcast today.
Yeah, it was a
And
pleasure.
I
The
hope to
pleasure
see
is all mine.
more of you. Yes.
Same,
Thanks, Anil.
same. You too. You too. Kissing. All right.
Okay, see ya. Bye.